Apparently, at a legendary banquet, Cleopatra bet Mark Antony that she could host the most expensive dinner in history. In his book Pearls, Fred Ward, author and noted pearl expert, said the queen hoped to impress Antony and the Roman Empire he represented with the extent of Egypt's wealth. Go big or go home. Apparently, Cleopatra crushed one large pearl from a pear that's worth roughly $28.5 million in today's dollars. Will it dissolve? We're gonna find out. I've heard several different variations of this story. Some of them were vinegar, some of them were wine, and because we already tried this in vinegar and it didn't work, I decided to go with wine. Now this is 24 hours after I put them in, and it didn't work either. For the most part, it looks like all of the pieces that I put in there yesterday are still intact. Died, but still intact. So I turned to Pliny the Elder's story regarding Cleopatra and dissolving the pearl, and here's what I found. Pliny said, and I quote, "The servants placed before her a single vessel which was filled with vinegar, a liquid, the sharpness and strength of which is able to dissolve pearls. At the moment she was wearing in her ears those choicest and most rare and unique productions of nature, and while Antony was waiting to see what she was going to do, taking one of them from out of her ear, she threw it into the vinegar, and after it was melted, swallowed it." So I crushed some pearls and put them in wine vinegar. It's bubbling! As part of our Cleopatra Legend series, we have been attempting to dissolve a pearl in both wine and vinegar, as well as wine vinegar. To make it easier, we crush them into a powder, and this has been sitting in the wine vinegar for 2 days. It's still not doing anything. And this one has been sitting here for almost 24 hours. This is 25% acid vinegar, and it's still not dissolving. We have 75% acid on the way. This was 25, so 3 times as strong. And it's not here yet, but as soon as it gets here, we're going to try to dissolve this pearl. But I'm telling you what, it's not as easy as you'd think. Well, Chosen Myth, I know I already told you this in the comments, but Google is wrong. We've had this experiment going for more than a week now, and I'm sick and tired of smelling vinegar. So I decided to dump it and show you what I mean. We even crushed these, and it didn't work. We're back for another attempt to dissolve a pearl in vinegar. I'm doing a few things differently today. First and foremost, the pearls are different. These are Japanese Akoya Keshi pearls. They're a byproduct of the culturing process, but they form naturally within the oyster, meaning it happened just like it would happen in the wild. An organism got into the shell and irritated the oyster, and then the oyster secreted nacre to cover the irritant. Again, this is a byproduct of the culturing process, but these are not cultured pearls. The second thing I'm doing differently is I'm crushing them into a powder using my new mortar and pestle. Yes, I know that's a garlic peeler, but I like it better as a pestle hat. This vinegar is room temp, and it's not really doing too much. It's bouncing around a little bit, but it's not overly excited. So I heated another cup of vinegar to boiling, crushed another pearl, and put it into that cup. I don't want to have 4 cups going again, so I'm going to put a whole one in the room temp and a whole one in the boiled, and we're going to come back in 24 hours to see what happens. It's smushy! Y'all, it's a Christmas miracle! We managed to sort of dissolve a pearl in vinegar. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So it turns out that you actually do have to have a different type of pearl for this to work. For all of the other videos, we have been trying to use cultured freshwater pearls that were tissue nucleated. That was what I thought was the closest to a natural pearl we could get without spending an exorbitant amount of money on this experiment. But then I found these Japanese Akoya Keshi pearls that are a byproduct of the culturing process, however they're formed naturally, meaning that it happens just like it would in the wild. I tried crushing them and putting a whole one into the vinegar. One of the cups has vinegar that was room temp and one was heated. The same thing happened to the whole pearl. Both of them turned into almost a spongy material.